in here doing something, either streaming or working on something, and my husband will pop his head in and he'll have to say my name 3 or 4 times before I hear it.
Myself, I'm not that, shall we say, far gone, and I think it's just old age and experience. You get used to it.
Which we are going to talk about later. Experience and coping mechanism and all that.
Yeah, it very well could be, loaded in my toolbox already, and I just haven't really thought of it.
Practice makes perfect, after all.
Okay. Often does not follow through on instructions or fails to finish schoolwork, chores, duties in the workplace. Starts tasks, but very quickly loses focus and is easily sidetracked.
I made it all the way through school up until college without doing any homework.
100%. I got through all of high school on my test scores.
C's get degrees. I didn't do any fucking homework.
I had a real problem with that, but by the time the 11th grade came around, I think I was just too burnt out, and I just didn't care anymore, right? It no longer interested me, so I had kind of moved on to the next thing, and by that point, I was already working in nightclubs, so, that's a lot more exciting than sitting there and doing your homework or getting up at 7:30 in the morning and going to school.
Well, let's take a look at another really common example for people with ADHD, and that is chores around the house. How many of us start one chore only to be distracted by something else that needs to be done? I've got dishes in my bedroom that need to be brought out into the kitchen to be washed. So I go to put them in the sink and then realize that the dishes in the dishwasher need to be in the sink need to get put into the dishwasher, but the dishwasher is full. So I might as well unload that. And while I'm doing that, I see that I am using my last dishwasher tablet. So I'm going to need to go to the store. So I'm going to start making a list of the things that I need from the store. So I go and I look in my pantry and I go, oh, that's right. I have to start cooking dinner.
Yeah. I did that earlier tonight when I went to put the leftovers away. I got the package out that I was going to put them in and got the lid out, and I put them beside it, and I'm like, okay, well, I need a pair of tongs because I made a cooked chicken salad. So I got a pair of tongs. I was going to scoop it all into there, and as I went to go grab the tongs, I'm like, oh, okay, there's a couple of dirty dishes here, and they made their way over to the sink. I got to the sink. Oh, there's a bunch of dishes in here with a bunch of stuff on it. So I rinsed them off and started loading the dishwasher and turned around and went, I was putting the salad away.
So we're actually diving a little bit into the next step as well, and I'm going to go ahead and start reading that one as well now. Often has difficulty organizing tasks and activities, difficult managing sequential tasks, difficulty keeping materials and belongings in order, messy, disorganized work, has poor time management, and fails to meet deadlines.
Time management? I don't know her.
The sequential tasks, I just reposted a video on making a sandwich with ADHD. Holy shit. Like, in the middle of the video, I stopped to go turn on the light because I realized it was dark. I stopped making a sandwich to turn on the light. Like, that does not make any type of logical sequence at all. So
I did a similar video. Remember my steps to making cereal?
Yep.
I should, now that you say repost, I should fucking do that. Yes, which I even credited you in that one.
It was based on mine.
I did too. Yeah, that's right.
An executive functioning issues.
Because the one I did before that, where somebody had commented, and it led me to using your example, was I had to put up shelves downstairs. So I was explaining the number of steps that I had to go through in order to just accomplish this simple task of putting up a fucking shelf.
So, and I'm gonna go ahead and add this in here as well now, and this is gonna be a kind of a personal call out for all of us. How many cups do you have on your desk right now? 2.
Now, if you ask me how many empty soda bottles I have on my desk.
Well, drinking 1, 2,
containers. 3, 4, 5. I have 5 bottles of soda and 2 cups.
2 within reach.
Spaz is fairly normal. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Messy much? Yeah. I mean, you guys have seen a video. It's a
good thing the camera's right here,
right? You guys have seen a video of my desk. I put a video up.
I've shown my desk before.
Yeah. So
I'm not proud of it, but I know where everything's at. Usually.
And I'll say this,
organized chaos.
This is one of the ones of inattentive that I do not present a ton of for the fails to meet deadlines. Deadlines to me are a very hard thing as long as I know them, and I will meet them all the time.
I won't.
So
I won't. Deadlines will come and go.
I'm in the middle. It depends who's imposing the deadline. If it's me, well, fuck, I might,
What am I going to do? Answer to myself?
If I put it off again. Right? Exactly. If it's my wife, I'm fucking on it.
But that being said, poor time management. Oh yeah, because I'll hit that deadline, but I'll do everything the day before it's due.
Like I said, time management. I don't know her.
I can give you a perfect time management example as I glance over at the clock.
Yeah, I'm in charge of making these. This is an example of time management. I'm in charge of making notes to keep us on track. That is one of my roles in this podcast, and I put estimated times on it.
And then Patrick and I laugh at them.
Mm-hmm.
They're more like suggestions.
I think they're more like theories.
I think we beat this topic to a dead horse. Often avoids, dislikes, or is reluctant to engage in tasks that require sustained mental effort. Schoolwork or homework for older adolescents or adults, preparing reports, completing forms, or reviewing lengthy papers.
I'd like to add one to that. Peopling.
Yeah, making phone calls.
Yeah.
It's the worst. I don't want to talk to people.
The homework hits really hard for me. I was through nursing school and halfway through my public health degree before I got diagnosed with ADHD. I had clinicals that I had to do in nursing, and then we had case studies that we were doing, and those case studies killed me. They're long and they're fucking tedious. And then for public health, it was a lot of papers and reports and making diagrams and shit like that. And it was so hard for me to keep attention unless it was something I really enjoyed.
Yeah, exactly. I think same could be said of all of us, but I mean, that one hits really hard because probably the biggest issue that I have using that example is executive dysfunction. And if there's something that I have to do and I don't want to do it, my brain will not allow me to do it.
Nope.
It'll move on to something that I want to do or something that it wants to do and I don't even realize it. Now that said, I still can't read that fucking book over there that I want to read. I've been trying to for 3 years.
And see, the schoolwork and the homework for me now that when it's different for me. And the reason why I say it's different for me is when I was in in-person classes, I would do the homework on campus. And campus was a work area for me, and my brain took it as a work area. So I was always able to knock that out. And I never brought anything home to work on. The minute we switched to in-person or to online classes, yeah, I bombed so hard because there were so many distractions at home for me, and home wasn't a work area for me. So it really depends on the environment for me. But, other things like if I don't like to do it, yeah, you give me a paper that I don't want to read or a book that I don't want to read, and good luck. You're never going to get me to do anything.
Who was it who just put a video up on that? It was Braggs, wasn't it?
I think so, yeah.
Yeah, that was a really good video. My brain's going to do what I want to do, and you can deal with it.
And by just put a video up about that, that means 2 weeks ago by the time this comes out.
For those who don't know Rags, he is can't stand up comedy on TikTok.
All right, what's the next one, Patrick?
The next one is often loses things necessary for tasks or activities. School materials, pencils, books, tools, wallets, keys, paperwork, eyeglasses, mobile telephones.
I knew this was going to be coming. Like, we all have ADHD. I knew that going through the diagnostic criteria for ADHD was going to be coming at us, but I did not mean it to come at me so fucking personally.
Right?
But again, there's another one that I'm not too bad with. Like keys, yes, sometimes. Minor things.
Your magic coffee cup?
Okay, let me retract that, okay? There are 3 things that most times I know where they are. My phone is one, my vape is the other, and my coffee, yeah, usually. Now that being said, I'm not immune to it. I have been known to misplace them from time to time.
There may be a video or two out on TikTok about that.
There might be a video or 2 on TikTok about that, yeah. But 9 times out of 10, I'm actually pretty good at keeping track of those things.
It's an ADHD.
By pretty good, I mean about 60% maybe.
So I'm going to ask you a question because I'm thinking you're very much similar to me. Is it because you have built-in structures to remember where those things are now?
Yes, and by built-in structures, I mean I know exactly where to place my phone.
Yes,
so that I don't lose it.
That's called a coping mechanism.
Yes, it is. It's in my hand, in my back pocket, or on the desk in front of me.
Because my keys, when I come in the house, there's a table right in front of me that has a basket on it. My keys go in there. If they do not go in there, I will not fucking find them at all. Like, I will call Katie and say, hey, have you seen my keys? Because if they're not in the spot that they're supposed to be in, I will not remember where they are. The other day, I found them on my front porch, on the couch on my front porch, because I sat down, set them down, and then got up and left them there and did not remember. So,
whoopsie. Now, all that being said, my wife loses her phone and vape 5-6 times a day.
Well, your wife's not ADHD, or is she?
She's not diagnosed. She and I actually went through that little spectrum that I designed, and I told her, okay, pick your spots, right? On that one, 5, 6 if I could, right? So she would qualify for a combined, but we'll get to that later.
Yeah. So I think this is a really good time to point out that some of these symptoms are things that every human is going to struggle with from time to time. And that when we take a look at the DSM, we have to look at it by intensity and duration. Is this something that happens from time to time? Did you once go to the office and forget to bring the keys you needed in order to unlock the door one time? Or is this something that happens at least once a week?
So, like I said, with my example, right? My keys go into my basket. If they are not there, if they are not in that basket, every time, I will not know where they are. That is the level of intensity that I deal with. This is not a normal intensity level, right?
No, not at all.
You should be able to set your keys somewhere around the house and recall where you set them instead of having one rigid place for them all the time. And yes, you're going to forget for once in a while, but I forget all the time, every single time. And I'm excessive, don't get me wrong. Like Spaz said on the intensity level, I am a 5 if it does not fit into my structures. So don't take my example as a, if you have to be as bad as I am to be on this spectrum as well, right? My section of this is really, really bad. But
it's almost like ADHD is a spectrum disorder and everybody's experience will vary.
Exactly.
Not only is everybody different and will their experiences vary, but they can also change over time.
And daily.
We will get into that when we talk about subtypes, though.
Yes. So, okay.
Yes.
Anyways, so is often easily distracted by extraneous stimuli. For older adolescents and adults, may include unrelated thoughts.
Intrusive thinking, anyone?
Okay. So, I mean, for me, like, this presents to me mostly in like conversations with small talk. Right? Somebody is talking to me and they're telling me about something that they're interested in, and it piques something in my brain, and I start going down that rabbit hole. And then next thing I know, they're like, hey, are you still with me? Because 10 minutes has gone by and I'm not looking at them. I'm not even nodding in agreement with them anymore. So
for me, it's this moment, like with small talk, it's this moment of like, I zone out and then a random thought pops in my head and I just go frolic through a field with that thought.
I'm very similar to Lee in that.
Could very well be that too. Or, something happens, like a certain sound. Like if there's an annoying kind of overloading sound when somebody's talking to me, my brain will be like, turn that person off and focus on this annoying thing. Like I don't want to hear it, but my brain will not let me hear anything but it.
Oh, you've heard our foster dogs.
Yeah, right?
Okay.
So, okay. Is often forgetful in daily activities, doing chores, running errands for older adolescents and adults, returning calls, paying bills, and keeping appointments. Hello, 5.
I'm just going to see myself out now.
Out of curiosity, because I'm gonna call myself out here. How many people, both you two, and listening at home or in the car or wherever you are, hi, how are you doing?
Hi.
Forget to take a shower until like 3 days later, and you're like, something doesn't smell. Fuck, when was the last time I showered?
I was going to say you're generous with that.
I was being very generous. I'm not
waiting on the comments section. I'm fucking waiting on the comments.
I will say this. I have built structures in now and coping mechanisms to prevent myself from doing that because I look at my hair. And when my hair gets really greasy on camera, that's when I know I need to take a shower, which is about every 3 to 4 days.
Who's the goddamn diva now?
Right? Mr. 3-in-1.
Everybody hates my hair because I have beautiful hair and I don't.
I just
do
hate
any
your
work
hair
on
because
it.
you fucking have some.
Aww, Spaz got hair envy.
Always.